So I'm here with Graeme Howe from IMRG. We're here to discuss an innovative product newly launched in the e-commerce space. So welcome, Graeme. Can you just give us a brief introduction to yourself and also to IMRG?
Yes, as you say, my name's Graeme Howe. I'm Joint Managing Director for IMRG. IMRG is the e-retail association for the UK. We've been going over 21 years now, and we represent the e-commerce industry as a whole.
And what are the key features, Graeme, that you're offering IMRG members?
We basically promote best practice. In order to do that, we provide benchmarking, market intelligence, we look at regulation, legislation that's coming down the line, how that impacts the trading environment, and basically try to communicate what's happening in the industry to our members at large.
Great. And clearly it's a massively fast-paced sector out there for your members, Graeme. Give us a kind of snapshot in terms of recent growth amongst e-retailing.
Well, obviously, as everybody knows, online retailing has went through a phenomenal growth. If you look at since 2009, we have achieved double-digit growth every year. This year we're forecasting a growth of just over 14%. One of the big growths has obviously been the evolution of the mobile platform. By mobile, I mean smartphone and tablet. Last year, IMRG was the organisation that came out and said there's no further growth across the desktop. All growth within e-commerce is coming over the mobile platform. Retailers now are achieving over 50% of their traffic to their websites over mobile.
Yeah, amazing stats there, Graeme. So what are the key challenges then? I guess that is one of them. What are you seeing in terms of issues that your members are dealing with currently?
Well, different sectors have different issues. As you know, it's a complex industry. The clothing and apparel market has a different set of challenges than, for example, the electronics industry. Challenges across the board. The market's becoming increasingly competitive. As a result of that, UK merchants are now looking to trade in new geographical territory, so cross-border is a big issue as far as the retail community is concerned. There's a lot of talk about omni-channel, having a single customer view, understanding consumer behaviour over different devices, measuring return of investment across different channels. These are just some of the challenges that retailers face going forward.
Yeah, so collecting, capturing, kind of analysing data, and that moves us to the product that you've recently launched, the e-retail benchmarking system. What was the background to that, Graeme?
Well, it was a logical extension of what IMRG already does. IMRG, for a long time now, has produced a product called the e-retail sales index. The e-retail sales index basically sizes the online retailing marketplace. We collect now over 44 KPIs. The way that works is the retailers provide us with data on a monthly basis. We take that data, anonymise it. We then aggregate that data in order to feed back to the retailers benchmarking information in order that they can ascertain their performance against the market sectors that they serve.
So what you're doing here is kind of building on that and actually trying to automate the process?
Yes. What we wanted to do is benchmarking is extremely important. A retailer might think they're doing extremely well. Their conversion rates might be running at 2.8%. But how does that compare to their competitors? Unless you know that, are you doing well or are you doing badly? Average basket values. Obviously, retailers want to know how they're doing relative to the sectors that they operate within. What this new product allows us to do is provide additional granularity through increased segmentation. It automates the process, so it takes away a lot of the man hours required in order to provide the data. It also gives the retailer a massive competitive advantage. Why do I say that? The big advantage is they can see how they've done the day previous, and I think that is the biggest USP of this particular product. They can see how they're performing against their market sector effectively in real time. So if you're running a sales campaign or a marketing campaign, what impact has that had on your results? They want to know that, not 4 weeks hence, but the day that's actually happening.
Yeah, and that's clearly a big drive within technology, Graeme. So you've worked with a technology partner, Affino, on this. So how did you get them on board, and a sort of bit of a background to the project itself?
I've been looking at how we actually facilitate this process for a number of months. I've spoken to a variety of technology partners. This project presented a significant set of challenges. One of the key challenges that was clearly facing us is the volume of data that had to be stored in order to process the information. Our eureka moment is, if you like, I was speaking to Affino, who are one of IMRG's supplier members, funnily enough, and they came up with the idea of sampling, and suddenly the light bulb went on. The advantage sampling gives is twofold. One, it reduces the storage requirement that needs to sit behind the system. Second, it provides an additional layer of security as far as the retailer is concerned, because the API that we've developed is not sucking 100% of the data off the retailer's website. And this provides the retailer with some assurance in terms of the visibility of transactions that's going on within the website.
So what would you then put your finger on in terms of, Graeme, in terms of what Affino did to kind of get to that solution?
Well, in speaking to Affino, the first thing that became clear to me is they understood IMRG and they understood what IMRG was trying to achieve. So understanding our business, being a member, obviously helped that process. And I spent a number of hours speaking through the challenges. They clearly understood benchmarking, the importance of benchmarking within the industry as a whole, and the importance of data and the competitive advantages that gives to the retail community. So that was the first thing. In broad terms, they clearly understood where we were trying to get to. I don't come from a technology background myself, so I understood where we wanted to get to, but I needed a technology solution that was going to get us there. First of all, we needed to develop the API. So we developed the API, we tested that API with a number of retailers over a considerable period of time. Why did we do that? Obviously, retailers want to be secure in the knowledge that it's not going to impact in any way the performance of the website itself. It's asynchronous. Therefore, the cookie doesn't actually fire up until the web page is loaded, which will be familiar to most people that use products such as Google Analytics. The second thing was the visualization. We needed this, the dashboard, if you like, to work across all platforms. So to be able to work on a tablet, a mobile device. So wherever the retailer is actually located, they have the capability to see how they're actually performing, whether they're on the train, whether they're in their office, or indeed they might be sitting in front of the television looking at their iPad, and they can see how that previous day's numbers are looking in comparison to the rest of the market.
Great. So, you know, they've obviously kind of worked very well to come up with this solution, and I guess a lot of collaboration with yourselves through the project and in terms of executing it as well.
Yes, very much so. We worked closely for 9 months in order to see this project through from the initial scoping. We set out a roadmap. It was important that we had a clear understanding of where we wanted to get to, the time frames each element of the product was going to take, the budget, not an inconsiderable consideration. And regular reporting back, I think that's important. How are we doing against the objectives that we've set? Obviously, you encounter technical glitches, and it's finding a solution to these technical glitches and getting past them.
Great. And would there be any other lessons that you would have learned going through this project, Graeme?
Well, obviously, I've learned a little bit about the technology itself, which is always reassuring. Other things that I've learned is the importance of project management. Ultimately, it's a partnership. You're undertaking a considerable journey. You want to be able to communicate your objectives clearly. Any issues that you have, you need to be able to talk them through and make sure you find a solution that works for both parties. Also, this product is going to be driven by the retail community. There's got to be scalability and flexibility built into the system. We're on just the very start of something we feel could be extremely big. Initially, this product's been developed to track a number of different KPIs, as I said, so average basket values, conversion rates, and checkout abandonment. But the scope of what the technology can do, we're only really starting out. This is far more capability, and once the retailers start using the product and get benefit from it, I'm sure they're going to come with additional requirements which we will facilitate in due course.
Great. Well, thank you for explaining that so clearly, Graeme, and good luck with future developments at IMRG.
Thank you very much.